We thought it was garbage, and then after that we got closer and we don't know what it is.
Something strange fell from the sky in West Virginia, and witnesses claim it wasn't from this world. Military trucks, flashing lights, and whispers of hidden truths followed. And of course, there are plenty of people behind this, some covering up, some watching, some probably just confused. But that's not all. The United States has seen countless UFO sightings over the years, and in this video, we'll explore some of the most shocking examples, too.
According to former intelligence officer David Grush, an alien crash landing isn't too far-fetched. Grush recently turned over documents to Congress claiming the U.S. government has a vast collection of vehicles that have non-human origin.
All right, now take a look at this Las Vegas police body cam footage from last month. The video shows a green flash across the sky. There it is.
In the early hours of January 13, 1996, an event unfolded in the Brazilian city of Varginha that would become one of the most puzzling and controversial UFO encounters ever recorded. It all began when NORAD, the North American Air Defense Command, detected an unidentified object entering Earth's atmosphere. The mysterious craft was tracked as it moved across the skies, descending rapidly toward the southeastern region of Brazil, approximately 200 miles northeast of São Paulo. NORAD immediately alerted Brazilian air defense, describing the object simply as unidentified. Moments later, something appeared to crash near Varginha, marking the beginning of a mystery that would grip the world. Local residents soon reported strange activity. Witnesses claimed they saw a cigar-shaped or disc-like craft descending through the clouds before vanishing behind the hills. Not long after, residents began noticing unusual military movements, convoys of trucks, soldiers cordoning off certain areas, and an unexplained air of secrecy that hung over the small city. It was clear that something significant had happened, but no one could say exactly what. The real shock came when several young girls from Varginha claimed they had seen a strange creature in a vacant lot. They described it as small, brownish, with oily skin, a large head, and bulging red eyes. The being seemed weak or injured, crouched down and trembling. Terrified, the girls ran home screaming, and their story spread quickly throughout the town. Soon, others began reporting sightings of similar beings in nearby areas, along with rumors that the military had captured one, or possibly more, of the entities alive. Witnesses said they saw soldiers transporting crates and metallic debris in covered trucks. Some accounts even claimed that one of the soldiers involved in the recovery operation later died, after allegedly coming into physical contact with one of the creatures. Locals described the atmosphere in Varginha as tense and fearful, as if something far beyond ordinary human experience had occurred right in their backyard. The government and military, however, firmly denied all claims of extraterrestrial activity. Officials insisted that the witnesses had merely mistaken a homeless man with a physical condition for an alien being, and that there had been no crash or recovery operation. Yet, the inconsistencies in their explanations only deepened public suspicion. Why were there so many military vehicles? Why were key witnesses silenced or discouraged from speaking? And how could so many people have mistaken such an extraordinary sight? To this day, the Varginha incident remains unexplained. It has become a powerful symbol of the tension between public testimony and official secrecy. Whether it was truly an extraterrestrial encounter or a misunderstood military event, the mystery endures, drawing curiosity from across the globe. For many, Varginha stands as haunting evidence that we may not be as alone in the universe as we once believed. Vanishing Giant. By a tranquil lakeside, a person spotted an enormous object suspended in the sky. Though difficult to see clearly, its vast shape resembled a spaceship from another realm. It was immense, far larger than any known aircraft, and made no sound at all. Despite the blurry view, its sheer size suggested an otherworldly origin. The massive craft lingered momentarily, almost as if waiting for its travelers, before silently fading away toward its distant home. Hikers' strange encounter. Two hikers in the hills stumbled upon an astonishing sight. Floating in the sky was a dark, ship-like object, with an oval shape gliding silently beneath it. The oval part might have been a section of the craft collecting information about human life. The hikers were filled with curiosity and fear. Where did this object come from? One hiker cautiously moved closer, but as he approached, he realized it truly was an alien ship. Overcome with terror, both quickly turned back and hurried away. Riverside Mystery Wreck. A few friends went exploring near a river but were met with a bizarre sight. Pieces of black metal were scattered across the water. It looked like an aircraft might have crashed there. Yet the fragments didn't seem to belong to any known plane. Locals had whispered stories about a UFO crash in that very area, and this discovery seemed to fit the tale. The group was unsettled and frightened. Without wasting time, they left the scene, puzzled about what could have caused such a strange wreck. Drone encounter in the sky. While testing his drone for the first time, a man noticed something unusual. A large black and silver disc hovered slowly in the air, moving in deliberate circles. It almost seemed as though this strange object was studying Earth up close, like a visitor on an interstellar vacation. The silent craft floated peacefully above. Maybe it was on a secret mission, or perhaps carrying beings preparing to spread across our planet. But the man couldn't confirm anything, as he didn't dare to fly his drone any higher. Mexican Sky Enigma. On July 7, 2024, mysterious lights illuminated the sky over Mexico. In a quiet town, residents watched as an unknown object glowed with a vivid purple hue. Its shape and movements were unlike anything familiar. It was clearly a UFO. Brilliant beams of violet light cut through the night, leaving everyone in awe. The object blinked mid-air, almost as if responding to the observers below. Some thought the flickers were signals from the alien ship, but no one could decipher them. Was it a warning of an interstellar conflict, or something else entirely? The answer remains unknown. Highway UFO encounter. Driving along a Mexican highway, a local man caught sight of something shiny and oval-shaped, hanging motionless in the sky. It didn't move like a plane or a balloon. It simply floated, unaffected by gravity. As he focused on it, he realized he might be staring at an extraterrestrial spacecraft. He was stunned by the rare, almost unbelievable experience happening on what began as an ordinary drive. Nighttime sky phenomenon. One evening, townspeople witnessed a strange display in the sky. Out of nowhere, brilliant, fast-moving lights appeared. Shocked onlookers watched as the lights formed a bizarre pattern, resembling twisted branches stretching across the heavens. Could it have been a gateway to another world? Or perhaps a glimpse of an alien realm? People stood frozen between awe and fear. Eventually, the lights faded, and relief spread through the crowd as the eerie vision finally disappeared. Hidden mountain discovery. The authorities are allegedly keeping this secret. A hiker recording his mountain climb noticed a massive white structure far ahead. "I've managed to reach a spot where they can't see me, or I can't be seen," he whispered. What he saw wasn't a normal mountain landscape. It looked straight out of a science fiction film. The hiker froze in disbelief. It was a UFO. He couldn't grasp how such a thing could exist unnoticed. Fearing detection, he decided not to stay and swiftly left the area. Cuban evening mystery. In Havana, Cuba, during 2019, the night sky became the stage for a peculiar event. Locals looked up to see a glowing object hovering above the city. It had an odd shape, almost wing-like, with its lower section rotating steadily. Some thought it was signaling something, while others believed it was a UFO engulfed in flames. Another theory suggested it could be a secret government experiment, as recent technological advancements in Cuba have been rapid and mysterious. Serbian light orbs. A strange occurrence took place in Serbia when a man filming his surroundings suddenly noticed two bright orbs glowing far away. One emitted a blue light, the other an orange one. They seemed to dance together, appearing and vanishing alternately like playful spirits. Trying to rationalize what he saw, the man wondered if the lights might be supernatural beings. Yet no one could determine whether they were something demonic or if there was another, completely different explanation behind their odd behavior. Oceanic UFO encounter. In Panama, a UFO decided to skip the sky and enjoy a trip just above the sea. The strange saucer-like craft zipped low over the waves, almost as if it were surfing. It flew so close that its reflection shimmered on the water's surface. As it glided along, the ocean rippled beneath it. Perhaps the seas are secret alien highways after all. People now joke that maybe fish have been watching extraterrestrial visitors for years. Disguised sky phenomenon. One day, the sky presented an unexpected spectacle. A massive cloud appeared, trailed by long streaks of smoke. But it wasn't a cloud at all. Hidden within it was a UFO. Suddenly, a glowing orb darted from afar, speeding straight into the cloud-like craft. As the two merged, dark smoke burst outward at blinding speed. It was as if the UFO had performed a vanishing act. In mere seconds, both the orb and cloud dissolved completely, leaving behind only empty sky and countless imaginations filled with stories of cosmic wonder. Ancient oddity locals, exploring an old, deserted site, found far more than they bargained for while recording the area. They noticed a long, stretched-out object hovering in the sky. Its structure didn't resemble anything known to humans. As they watched, frozen in fear, the top part of the craft opened, and a smaller vessel emerged, soaring upward. It looked as if it had arrived on a mission to Earth and then returned, leaving its outer shell behind. It's fascinating to think how aliens could fit into such tiny crafts. Perhaps they're miniature beings. What's your take on that? Radiant phenomenon. Have you ever seen what looks like a moving sun? Some people in Mexico did, and it was nothing like they imagined. They witnessed a radiant, disc-shaped object gliding quietly through the sky. It definitely wasn't an airplane, since aircraft don't glow in bright, fiery colors. The way it moved defied any known logic. It almost seemed like aliens were imitating the sun, creating their own shining UFO version of it. The onlookers were fortunate that this artificial sun didn't erupt or cause chaos. Aerial encounter. While flying high above the clouds, a pilot was peering through his cockpit window when something extraordinary occurred. A dark, circular object was swiftly approaching from the front. It moved smoothly and rapidly through the air, clearly not resembling a drone. That's when he realized he had just come face to face with an alien spacecraft, as if the visitors were casually touring our world. Circular sky sign in Tucumán. What started as a calm day turned eerie when residents near a citrus plantation in Lul noticed something unusual overhead. A dark ring appeared suddenly in the air. It wasn't a typical cloud. It was just a large, smoky circle floating effortlessly. Many witnesses quickly recorded the sight with their phones. But the mystery didn't last long. It turned out to be nothing supernatural at all, just smoke released from an electrical transformer. London's Midnight Mystery. On June 22, 2024, London's sky offered a breathtaking view under the moonlight. But something else caught attention. "What is that? That's so strange," people murmured. A flying object appeared, gliding slowly across the night sky. A peculiar, wire-like shape seemed to stretch across the moon's surface, leaving everyone baffled. "That's incredibly weird." "Someone must be there," one witness said. With so many onlookers confirming the scene, the crowd was convinced it was not of this world, perhaps even a sign of activity from another dimension. The evening giant one night, a person experienced something unforgettable. A gigantic black disk emerged above, silent and menacing. Its sheer size was overwhelming, far larger than anything ever seen before. It was obvious to the witness that this was a UFO, an alien spacecraft. The dark vessel glided smoothly like a drifting shadow. Thankfully, it didn't stop. The shocking part was that small alien figures appeared to be falling from it. The ship soon vanished from sight, leaving one haunting question. What happened to those beings? Hopefully, they survived. Philadelphia's Sky Enigma. In Philadelphia, a stargazer's peaceful night of skywatching took a wild turn. His phone captured something extraordinary, a speeding object resembling a spaceship darting across the stars. In the footage, beams of green light flashed toward the craft, as if someone was firing at it. Maybe it was a battle, or maybe a warning. Whatever the case, it seemed the aliens managed to escape unharmed every time. Chennai's Celestial Visitor. On August 19, 2024, the skies over Chennai welcomed a mysterious guest. A glowing object appeared silently above the hills. For a while, it stayed perfectly still, as though waiting for something. Gradually, it began to drift across the sky, glowing with neon green lights visible throughout the city. The craft looked solid and deliberate, almost confused, as if its pilot was trying to navigate Earth's terrain. As it moved farther away, it became evident that it wasn't human-made. Perhaps that extraterrestrial traveler plans to return someday for another haunting visit. Caribbean Wonder. On July 13, 2024, people in Aruba and Venezuela were treated to an extraordinary sight. It wasn't a shooting star or a satellite. Just after sunset, a blazing UFO streaked across the twilight sky. The dazzling craft twisted, turned, and curved in impossible directions. Spectators stood frozen, mesmerized by the glowing saucer that illuminated the heavens like a colossal spotlight. It looped and zigzagged with unbelievable agility. Nobody knew where it came from or what its purpose was, but everyone agreed it was the most incredible thing they had ever seen. Reporters' sky revelation high above a bustling city skyline, a reporter and a group of officials were filming when something odd caught their eyes. "What is that?" someone shouted. Behind tall buildings, a strange object shot past. Before they could focus, it vanished in a flash. "Over there!" they yelled. Maybe the beings inside the craft didn't enjoy being filmed and fled immediately. The officials, however, weren't giving up. They sent a drone speeding toward it. But before it got close, the UFO disappeared completely. What remained was a short but unforgettable encounter and a mysterious story that left everyone fascinated. Mexican Sky Marvel. In 2024, a traveler in Mexico was capturing footage of beautiful mountain scenery when something strange interrupted his filming. A small, glowing orb appeared in the sky, slowly descending in a controlled motion. As it drew nearer, it was clear this wasn't an ordinary light. Suddenly, it dipped behind a mountain, and at that exact moment, the tourist's camera abruptly shut off. The mysterious blackout left everyone puzzled about what the object was and what secret it might have held. Beach visitors were enjoying themselves when their laughter suddenly turned into screams of fear. A dark, disc-like shape appeared in the sky. It hovered quietly over the shore, casting an eerie shadow. People stared in disbelief. Some pointed, others ran off. The unidentified craft lingered briefly, as though observing the crowd below. Then, as swiftly as it had arrived, the UFO shot off into the horizon. It disappeared completely, leaving behind stunned beachgoers still trying to comprehend what they had witnessed. Italian mystery. On May 16, 2024, a hiker exploring Italy's mountain trails encountered something extraordinary. Far above the peaks, an unfamiliar object glided effortlessly. Its shape was unclear, but its movements were undeniably unnatural. No bird or aircraft could maneuver like that. The hiker watched in awe as the craft soared over the landscape with impossible precision. It truly looked like a spacecraft visiting from another world. Perhaps the beings aboard were fascinated by Earth's mountains, something they don't have on their own planet. Chinese countryside encounter. In rural China, a local man out for a daily stroll came across a sight straight out of a science fiction film. Hovering before him was a perfectly shaped disk, an authentic UFO. It looked exactly like the flying saucers shown in old stories and movies. The metallic surface reflected the sunlight brilliantly. Then, without warning, the craft began to ascend, shooting skyward. It seemed the visitors had completed their secret Earth mission and were now heading home to their distant world. It was a scene he'd never forget. Urban visitor in Seattle. One night in Seattle, a resident filming the city skyline ended up recording something extraordinary. A fast-moving flash streaked across the frame, too quick for the eye, but perfectly captured by the camera. Behind the skyscrapers, a sleek object zipped through the sky in a way no plane or helicopter could. As it passed between buildings, its outline became distinct. A silent, metallic alien ship gliding across the horizon. The video was clear, undeniable, and soon made waves everywhere. Seattle had its own extraterrestrial encounter, caught on camera for the world to witness. Alien discovery. A mysterious leaked video appeared online showing a strange scene deep within a forest. On a stretcher lay an unusual creature with a long head and oversized black eyes. Yellow restraints held its body down. This was clearly no human. It was an alien. Surrounding it were several uniformed soldiers guarding the being closely. The footage ended abruptly, leaving endless speculation behind. Many believe the alien's ship had crashed nearby, and the military was containing the situation. One can only hope the being received proper care. Unusual morning encounter. During his early walk, a man's routine took an eerie turn. Sitting directly on his path was a strange figure. It had an elongated skull, a thin frame, and smooth, grayish skin. The sight was beyond anything he'd ever imagined. He began to think it might be an alien, separated from its companions, contemplating how to return home. The vision of that creature lingered in his mind, forever altering how he viewed life on Earth. City's strange visitor. As evening settled over the city, office workers heading home were startled by an astonishing sight. Hovering high above was a colossal, oddly shaped object that hung motionless in the dark sky. Drivers on nearby highways saw it too. So many witnesses confirmed the sighting that no ordinary explanation seemed possible. It was undeniably a UFO. The giant craft floated quietly, as though observing the city below. Perhaps it was on a reconnaissance mission. Or maybe, just maybe, it was planning to return with its family for a cosmic vacation. Interrupted journey. Late one night, a man was driving home when something unusual caught his attention in the sky. In the distance, a strange light hovered above the horizon. It wasn't a star, it was something entirely different. He zoomed in for a clearer look. What he saw was astonishing. The shape that appeared was unmistakable. A UFO. It had glowing blue lights all around it. As he continued to watch, the spacecraft began to move and slowly ascended into the night sky. Before long, the sky was empty again. It seemed as though the object had been approaching, unnoticed by anyone else. Brazilian Light Spectacle 1. Cloudy evening in Brazil, children playing outside suddenly found themselves witnessing something extraordinary. Far away, two bright orange circles appeared in the sky. They weren't like anything the children had ever seen before. The circles drifted slowly through the air, glowing brilliantly against the dark clouds. The kids stood still in amazement, realizing that their bedtime stories about aliens might actually be real. This sight would surely be a memory they'd carry for the rest of their lives. Hidden Jungle Secret. Two friends set out on a nighttime trek through the jungle, unaware of what they were about to discover. Concealed among the trees was what looked like a sleek black spaceship straight out of a sci-fi movie. Unbelievable! The craft was smooth, shiny, and had no visible openings or windows. It absorbed the moonlight, making it almost invisible. A faint glow traced its edges, giving it a mysterious and eerie look. As they moved closer, it remained completely silent. Trembling with excitement and fear, they recorded videos and photos, eager to have proof of their discovery. It appeared unoccupied. Either its crew had left or were simply unseen. Unusual skull find. In a remote location, an explorer stumbled upon a sight he could never forget. A gigantic skull, half buried and unlike any known creature. This wasn't an ordinary skull. It was enormous and oddly shaped, unlike anything from Earth. Upon closer inspection, he noticed strange carvings and markings covering it. These weren't random scratches, but deliberate engravings, almost like symbols or writing. It looked like the remains of an alien being that had perished long ago. Though its origins remained a mystery, the haunting image of that skull stayed with him forever. In June 2011, something strange happened in the quiet town of Tarbaca, Costa Rica. A short, unedited video appeared online titled OVNE Tarbaca, Costa Rica UFO. It was uploaded with a simple but powerful description. Video original sin edición, extraído del teléfono de quien lo grabó. No edit video, original source. In other words, what people were about to see came directly from the witness's phone. Untouched, unaltered, and raw. That claim alone made the footage stand out immediately in the world of UFO investigations, where skepticism and speculation always collide. The video itself runs for just 15 seconds, yet it leaves a lasting impression. In the shaky recording, a strange light or object is seen hovering above a rural area surrounded by greenery. It isn't shaped like a plane or a helicopter, and it doesn't move like one either. Instead, it floats steadily and silently, emitting an odd glow. The brief clip seems to capture a moment where the ordinary suddenly collided with the extraordinary, a flash of something beyond what anyone could easily explain. What's fascinating is that Costa Rica isn't commonly associated with UFO activity, yet the Tarbaca sighting reignited conversations about mysterious aerial phenomena in Central America. People who watched the clip back in 2011 quickly began debating its authenticity. Could it be an alien spacecraft? Or was it simply a drone, weather balloon, or optical illusion? Drones were far less common at that time, which made the sighting even more puzzling. For many believers, the lack of editing and the natural background sound gave the footage credibility. The uploader, a YouTube user named Madrigaloid, made it clear that this was the original recording with no manipulation. For others, though, the low resolution and the absence of clear details left too much room for doubt. As with most UFO encounters, what you see depends on what you're ready to believe. Still, the Tarbaca UFO remains one of Costa Rica's most talked-about mysteries. The video's age and simplicity add a nostalgic charm. It comes from a time before viral fakes and AI editing made everything suspicious. Over a decade later, it continues to spark curiosity among both skeptics and believers. Was it an alien visitor silently observing our world, or just a trick of the camera capturing light in an unusual way? No one can say for sure. But what's undeniable is that the 2011 Tarbaca sighting still fuels our timeless fascination with the unknown skies above. Whatever crashed that night remains a mystery. From Virginia to other UFO encounters across the U.S., the skies are full of secrets. One thing's for sure, there's more happening above us than most people realize, and the truth is still out there.